And we are live. Happy Tuesday, not quite turnaround Tuesday, but boy, do we have lots to talk about today. The Biden trade is on. And we have some great things to talk about in our IDEX, Ideonomics trade. What a trade it was. Remember, we started with this yesterday. And now today, we have we have this $300. Start with this, end the day today. Well, not even end the day, the middle of the day, beginning of the day today, we have this. We're going to talk about that trade. For those of you who don't know and are new to the channel, hello, welcome, especially if you like to trade stocks and options. Every week, I do a trade starting with $100 to see how it ends. But remember, just because it was $100 bills for us, it's all fractal, right? It could have been thousands turning into 3,000. It could have been 10,000 turning into 30,000. The percentages are all the same. It's all about your risk tolerance and what you want to do. The reason we start with $100 is that I get so many people that tell me they are new to options, they're new to trading, they want to start and want to see what they can do with $2, $20, $30, $100. And so that's why our trade every week is with $100. I'm Bill, and I trade stocks and options. And every Monday, I post a video showing a trade that I'm making using a maximum of $100. Let's get into this week's trade. Look at it. It's green on the screen. The S&P 500 is up $53. RUT is up 38. The Qs are up 3 and the Dow is up 2. And why are we up? Because Biden is going to be our president. So the Biden trade is on, and boy, oh boy, are we going to have some time talking about the Biden trade and the rotation, which is kind of interesting to me because let's go ahead and take a look at the S&P 500 chart. And we go ahead and we take a look here. Here is the move. We'll get to the key point and why it's kind of stalling out right here. But let's go back to the daily chart. Here is election day, when it was fairly evident, or presumed at least at that point, that Biden was going to be our next president, and the stock market gapped up, went higher, gapped up, went higher, gapped up, went higher, gapped up on the vaccine news, pulled back, and now we're kind of chopping. But now that we find out Biden is going to be our president, apparently we are up even a little bit more. So we have some things to look at today. But first, let's start with what the Biden trade is, apparently. And it appears it's up and away. We're going to look at the S&P 500, some key levels in there in just a minute. But one of the big things that everybody has been talking about is, if Mr. Biden is our president, and now everyone knows for sure that Mr. Biden will be our president, apparently looking at the market, is that electric vehicles, solar, are going to be up. So let's take a look and see what is happening with some of the solar stocks. Let's start with the First Solar, FSLR, for all you home gamers. We are up today, but we are down from where we were on election day. Interesting. First Solar, let's look at, oh, I hit the wrong symbol, RUN, Sunrun. Breaking out, cup and handle. It's up and away. These are definitely all. What about Enphase? Let's take a look at Enphase. This thing is just beam, up and away. New all-time highs, 52-week highs at least. And let's see, SP. So what's SunPower? That's the Class B. It's not pulling it up anymore. SPWR. It's now SPWRA. Can't pull the data in anyway, so we're trying to pull up SunPower. But then, of course, what else has gone up is, of course, can you do technical analysis of Tesla? Edward, yes, we will take a look at Tesla, and it's right on the next one as we're going to start looking at some of the EV plays. So let's go ahead and take a look at Solo real quick. Woo! What a run. But wait, Solo's down today. Interesting. NIO. Woo! Way up. Except for NIO's down today. Let's take a look at Nikola. Up, but it's been way down. And of course, our great trade on IDEX. Boom, we took it. We took our profit, and now it's coming back down as well. All right, Edward, let's go ahead and take a look at Tesla. Here is the daily chart. There's absolutely nothing here, man, as far as a price target. We are way up. All-time highs. Let's take a look at a yearly. It's breaking out. Edward, breaking out. Let's see if there's any levels that we can look at on the 30-minute. I am currently not in Tesla. Wah. Shame on me, but look at, we're up. We're stair-stepping up. If you are in this, Edward, let me know. Are you in it, Edward? Are you in this? If you're in it and you're long, I'm assuming you're long. Maybe you're short. Just let us know. Here is the hourly chart. Here's the daily chart. Obviously, so let's assume that you are in it, Edward, and let's assume as you are in it, you started to get some profit on this way up. Let's assume looking to add more. Interesting if you're in it. So let's look at just what I would look at. It's kind of some supports. This is the previous all-time high. Anything above 500, I'd say this stock is continuing to go up and away. What we are doing right now is what I like to call one time framing. So if I was in this stock, once again, not financial advice, not going to tell you what to do, but I will tell you what I would do. So if I had this stock and I got it, I would look for maybe an ad as we pull back to retest this high. Very, very often when stocks break out, they will come back and retest those breakout highs. And this was the breakout. So at some point, there is a chance we come back and retest it. If I wanted to get in, I will go ahead and then bounce back up. Jez, this is that you see on the screen. This is Toss, Thinkorswim, TD Ameritrade. I do also trade on Robinhood, which we're going to take a look at. But quite honestly, if you're on a desktop, I absolutely love Thinkorswim. It takes a little bit of time to get used to all of it, but man, what it can do is absolutely amazing. So Edward, taking a look again at Tesla on this move up. If I was in it and you wanted to add some more, I would be looking to add some more on this retest because it's a point where you know exactly where you might be wrong. If we start getting daily closes below this, then you know that trade didn't work out. But as we get close down to this line, if we test it and it bounces back up, that would be a great time. If you are long, if I was long, what I would be doing is kind of, as long as we continue this one time frame, we keep going up. You see, we never even came in the previous day's range. So now that we're up here, I would set my stop at the previous day's high. So as long as we close above the previous day's high, I would say it's still going up. There's no reason to sell the stock, in my opinion, if you are in it right now. I would absolutely hold on to it. Hope that helps you out on the Tesla. Hope that out. Jez, thank you. Welcome to the channel. Hope that helps you out. We are going to talk a little bit about our IDEX trade. What a great trade. I still can't believe. Where's my money? Look at that. What do you think we may see 600 by the end of the week? You know, I think, Edward, I don't like to put time frames on things, but it sure does appear from everything going on that Tesla has a day with 600. Everybody's going to be pushing this into 600, and there's lots of reasons why, with it being added to the S&P 500. There's just a lot of things going on with Tesla, but right now, the only thing you can do is ride it, take your profit along the way, as we did in Ideanomics. Going to show you a quick look. Let's go into the Robinhood account and show you what we did taking it off. Here we are, IDEX call spread, taking it off $300 this morning. Started with 100, ended with 300. Are you kidding me? We are winners 3 weeks in a row with our $100 option trade posted live for free every single week. So if you're not subscribed, go ahead, subscribe so you don't miss that trade. Now let's go ahead and take a look. 600. The way I'm just looking at this chart, Edward, man, the way this thing is running up, it may be 600 by the end of the week. This thing, Tesla, has just been insane. But one of the things you got to watch, and I know we are all doing extremely well right now if you're long anything, right? I do have a short position, so I'm kind of, but man, the longs have just totally made up for it with how high we're going on everything. It doesn't seem to matter what three-letter stocks you pick right now. What momentum stocks? Solo, NIO, Nikola, IDEX, Tesla, Blink. It doesn't matter. They've all gone up so crazy. But let's go back and take a look at some of the key levels in the S&P 500 and what I'm starting to feel like maybe some big guys, some big institutional sellers maybe using this as an opportunity to go ahead and get out of some of their stock. And let me show you a little bit at why I'm feeling that. You see this move, and I'm going to move this over just a little bit so you can see it. You see we had this move coming off the election. We gapped up, went higher. Gapped up and went higher. Gapped up and went higher. This is like a stair-step formation, right? Gap and go, gap and go, gap and go, gap and go. Now we have all of this bullishness of the vaccine news, more vaccine news, and now we are convinced that Biden is president. We're going to put all that behind us. The controversy is over. Nothing to see here. And we bounce, and we're still inside this range. And I started to ask myself, what has really gotten us to this point? Let's take a look real quick at the one-day chart, okay? The yearly chart, one day, zoom out just a little bit. All the way from these March lows, these COVID lows. And we started to move up. So what is it, 6, 7, 8 months of straight up. What stocks have gotten us there? Well, of course, that would be the Fangman name stocks, right? So let's go ahead and look at Amazon. Amazon's not participating. Amazon's not really going up. What about Microsoft? Microsoft. It's up today, but sideways, not really shooting off like we're seeing in some of those other ones. Edward, I'm going to show you a short position I put on today as soon as we get done with some of these Fangman stocks. Great question. Microsoft. What else was leading like Fangman? So we got Google. What's Google been doing? Sideways, not participating, at least not participating to the same scale as the overall market, and definitely not participating to the same level as we've seen in Solo, NIO, Nikola, IDEX, all of these going up hundreds of %, it seems, in days. But all of the things that got us here, what about Facebook? Facebook is up today, but not really gone anymore. So I'm starting to take pause because the leaders of this market, the things that have got us here, these Fangmans, they're not really moving up. So what has kept this market up? What is keeping us moving up? I think you know the answer. Tesla. This move in Tesla is almost single-handedly keeping the overall market, at least the indexes, going up. Is this smoke and mirrors? Is this an opportunity that the big boys, the hedge funds, are using to rebalance, sell their stock at all-time highs to give us an epic flush at some point, or at least a significant flush? It's on the table. It's a possibility. Let me show you the key levels that I continue to watch and are still on this. The first line in the sand is obviously this previous former high, which we keep talking about, that 358. And then we also have 362.59 and 364 being the high that we reached on that vaccine news. Now we are right now above these, and obviously we're starting to have a little bit of a struggle there. And if we go down to the 30-minute chart, You can see why we're kind of stalling out a little bit here at these levels. We had this previous spike, 360, 367, and bam, almost came to it. Now we're just kind of staying there. We aren't necessarily rejected. So as long as we stay up here, we got to assume it's sideways to up, but there is a little bit of caution that I have. I don't know if there's going to be a pullback this week, Edward. Historically, this is a holiday week, and a slow melt up would be a norm. But I think there are some risk in the market, so I'm keeping myself a little bit hedged. You had a great question. I did finally enter a short today on a stock, show you how I did it, because I did it with a call credit spread going into the end of the week, and that is in no other than Zoom Video. We kind of came up out of the box, and now we're starting to go back down. And sorry, Paul, I know you're long in this, but I had to do it today. I had to put on a trade. Now, I'm not super uber duper bearish, but I'm going to show you the trade I put on. Basically, my trade will work as long as Zoom stays below $445 into the rest of the week. And let's go ahead and take a look at what the trade looks like. Let me pull up the Robinhood account for you real quick. Account history. So I can show you the trade that I put on today in Zoom. It is a call credit spread. So what I did this morning is I sold the 440 calls expiring on Friday, and I bought the 445 calls, which also expire on Friday. So essentially what I am doing is, my assumption here is that Zoom is going to go sideways to down, but not go above $440 before the end of the week. Now, this is what we call a call credit spread. So it is going to take some margin. There is some risk. This is a $5 wide spread. And I got, I think, $150, $150. So I got $1.50 in credit. That means my maximum risk is $5 minus $150, so that's $350 at risk. But I will manage the trade if it starts to go against me, and we'll do that live here on the show. So essentially, as long as Zoom stays below $440, I will get to keep all of this credit. Now, I did this for 4 contracts, so potentially I can make $600 as long as Zoom stays below $440. So as long as we're below 440, I am good. How did I pick that number? This is where we stalled out the other day. It doesn't feel to me like anything in the market is going to push Zoom higher. We already have lockdowns. We already have everything that would be a catalyst for Zoom. And this is a very, very short-term trade. And the premium in there is just going to get crushed as we get in. Because remember, we're off on Thursday and a half day on Friday. So in my opinion, this was just golden to get that much credit in Zoom. So that is the current short position that I have on a stock. I am short Zoom. I did take profit in IDEX. Of course, you know I have a huge position in Palantir, PLTR, done very, very well in that stock. It went up so high today that I had some covered calls that are expiring on Friday at the 22 strike, and it shot through it so much I actually rolled those out, and I will do another video on how I rolled those out. Am I going to be taking a position in Tesla, Edward? No. I'm sorry. I've kind of hated on Tesla for a long time. I know it keeps going up. I think there's going to be some struggles with Tesla once it gets added into the S&P 500, and we'll talk about that in some weeks coming up, because it's a little bit complicated in how the index funds are going to do this when it gets into the S&P 500. But in my opinion, there's just been so many other stocks that can get the same momentum or more without the risk of Tesla. Look at the move that we've had in Solo. Look at this move, man. $6 to $13, double in a matter of a week. Look at the move that we had in NIO. What a great trade we had on NIO as well. We bought in on like 44 to 58. Absolutely unbelievable. Look at this IDEX. So not that I hate on Tesla, it's just not a stock that I trade. I can't really get a good read on it. I have some personal biases which make it hard to trade. So all of you that are in Tesla, you guys have been nothing but winners. I know Paul's done very well. He's been bullish on Tesla forever. This stock just keeps going up. It keeps going up. One of the things I wanted to talk about today is this IDEX trade. And as I've mentioned several times before, my plan is to release this video. I've been really digging deep into this company, Ideanomics. And I've been doing some detailed fundamental analysis on the company of what their business model is, how they make their money, how much money they have. I've listened to their conference calls, gone through their financial statements, and I had some questions about the company. And so it got me thinking, can you invest? Well, I mean, we did well, right? Look at, we got this money, man. We did well on the Ideanomics trade, and we went ahead and took the trade. But can you invest in a company if you don't have belief in the company? Can you buy a stock that you do not believe in? What got me thinking about that this week is my trade in IDEX, Ideanomics. For those of you new to the show, every single week I do a video where I do a live trade using a maximum of $100. And this week's trade was a huge winner in Ideanomics. But I've also done some detailed fundamental analysis in the company. And that video is on the YouTube channel as well. And to be honest, I do not have a lot of confidence in the long-term strength of this company. I don't think they're a scam. I don't disbelieve in them. However, I just don't think that this is really going to be a very long-term successful company. And it got me thinking, can you trade, can you buy a stock that you do not have any belief in? And I guess that brings to the question of trying to figure out what is the difference between a trade and an investment. Because from this week, I had no problem whatsoever making the trade in Ideanomics, even though I do not have belief in the company. Now that might change. That might be different if I had some kind of moral objection to what the company was doing. If the company, in my opinion, was doing something immoral, unethical, something that I just couldn't believe in. There's a reason I don't wear Nike shoes even to this day, but that's not for this discussion. I would have a hard time even making a trade in a company that went against my core beliefs, something that I felt was immoral. But that's not the situation here. It's not the situation we're talking about. What we're talking about is, what do you do when and if you simply do not believe in the company? Can you still make a trade? And I think it boils down to understanding what the difference is between a trade and an investment. I don't think there's any problem at all, and I don't think it should hinder you in your trading of a stock if you have unbelief in it. Because a trade is a very short-term investment. It actually requires very little to no faith in the underlying company. Whatever indicators you're using, MACD, RSI, doesn't really seem to matter. If you've got a buy signal, you can buy it. You can sell it a minute later, an hour later, a day later, a week later, a month later. Successful trade. And there are millions of traders throughout the country and throughout the world who do just that. They will trade a stock. They're trading symbols. They're trading letters on a screen. They know little to nothing about the company. Probably couldn't even tell you what the company name is. And that doesn't stop them from being a successful trader. Now, an investment, on the other hand, may be a little bit harder to do. It may be a little bit harder to invest in a company if you do not believe in the company. If you are filled with unbelief in a company, a trade may be possible, but an investment, that may be hard, if not impossible. And let me tell you why. An investment is a trade inside a company, a buying of a stock of a company that you're going to hold for the long term, months, years, decades. And we know that price does not move in a straight line. Price goes up, price goes down, price goes up, price goes down, price goes up, price goes down, price goes sideways, price goes down. Price moves. And if your plan is to have a long-term hold, a long-term investment in a company, when those downturns come, and they will come, they always do. When those downturns come and your P&L on that investment turns negative, that is the time when you must have a core belief, a core faith in the company. If you don't have that, you will sell your stock, making it impossible to be a long-term investment. I continually buy on a regular basis and have a long-term investment in Starbucks. Why? Because I love the coffee, but every single time I go to Starbucks, there's a line. And people are willing to wait 40 minutes to spend $8, $9 for a coffee. I have belief in this company. And as long as I go to Starbucks and I see those lines, and I see the smile on people's faces as they walk up and down Main Street and holding their Starbucks coffee with the logo out, until I don't see that, I will hold my Starbucks stock. I will own it because I have belief in the company. The price of the stock means nothing to me. I almost rarely even look at the stock price. That is the difference between an investment and a trade. So can you buy a stock that you do not believe in? My answer to that question is yes, if it's for a trade. I would caution you, and I would say that it would be almost impossible to be profitable on a long-term investment in a company if you don't have that belief. And that's all I got to say about that. Go ahead and get your tickers ready as we head into the end of the show. If you got anything else you want to look at, anything else you want to kind of look at the chart on, any symbols, go ahead and leave them in the chat. We'll try to take a look, but I did want it, before we go, wanted to take a look at the trade that we started to talk about, which is Fastly. Remember, we talked about this a little bit on a few days ago. When it was up here at the 85, 86 level, we set our stop at 80, and we said we didn't want to own the stock at 85, 86, but we were interested in starting to take a position in Fastly, so we did sell the 86 call, or the 86 puts, and we got about $3 credit, so our cost basis is around $83, but we don't actually own the stock yet. And look at that line that we put on there a few days ago. What happened with Fastly today? Fastly comes down, boom, hits our number, bounces off, and now it's just kind of holding on it. So we're going to have to wait and see if this pans out. But remember, as long as it's above 80, I still wanted to own Fastly. FSLY. So far, there's nothing to do in that trade. Still have the puts. We're going to let them run. Ideally, the stock will close somewhere between $83 and $86 at the end of the week, which will allow us to have the stock and still be up on the premium that we collected. So right now, it's holding our levels, and we're just going to hold it right there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the overall market, see what we're doing at this level. Man, this market just keeps wanting to go up, up, up. I know I have a little bit of a bear in me, but there is nothing on the charts, nothing that's showing us that that is the right play. Look at this move off that support area. Just a kind of an unbelievable move. We're still kind of in this zone. So until we break above 364.38, we start closing above 364.38 on the spiders. on a daily chart, I think from there it is probably going to be a pretty significant move up. But if we gotta go back down here, we could see. So take another look real quick on the 30-minute. See what we're doing. We haven't gotten above the 360, 367, but we're just kind of hanging out, forming a box. So barring any significant news, we could very well be in for a melt up on the way up. So we'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. Bring your tickers, bring your trades, because we got to make some money.
Game over.